Good afternoon, it's Brian at Fitzpatrick's Garage, Dublin Road, Kildare. I want to show you this, the newest generation of the Honda Jazz. Brian is my name. If there's any information you'd like in this car, please do give us a call, 086 843 1945. We are Fitzpatrick's Garage. There's a Maxwell station here, Honda here behind me, Hyundai over here, and further up the road Mercedes. And then there's garages also in Naas and Carlow, as well as the garage here in Kildare and also Tullamore. So basically the garage is in operation for almost 70 years, so if you know you're spending money on a brand new car like this, there's going to be an after sale service because the garage is here so long. So anyway, this car, as we were saying, is 1.3. This is the newest generation of the Honda Jazz. So the car has been facelifted. This model came out 2015, mid-15. So this is now the facelift that's been on the car. It's really smart. Let's have a look. And this is actually a new colour as well. Originally I think this colour was out in the 2015 and then it kind of disappeared for a while, and now it's back as well, and I actually think it's probably one of the nicest colours in it. So it's a shining grey colour, really nice. And this colour actually I always used to find even in all the models of Honda Civics and CR-Vs. It's always been a popular model. So you might ask, what is the difference? If you look at the front of the car, the daytime running lights are similar to before, and the headlight structure is very similar to before. However, you have a nice big long chrome section at the bottom and also the top, and it really complements the light shape overall. Kind of reminds me of CR-V actually. This bumper has gotten much fatter down at the front, and if you look down along through here, there is a lip at the front which is giving the bumper a fatter, chunkier look. The wheels are the same size, but they've become more, I suppose, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for to describe it, but it's more of a sort of square shape in the centre. The rear bumper has also become fatter, so if you look at the rear of the car compared to the previous model, it's much more muscular looking down low, down along through here. Just to remind you, if you're not familiar with what the previous model used to look like, let's have a look at one, because there is one here at the moment. So if you just remind yourself, the wheel style on this one was less kind of blocky in the centre. The rear of the car, while quite similar, if you see the way the bumper came in on either side, and the bottom shape overall is different, and then the front of the car in through here, it doesn't have the little lip. So as we see in the other one, it's colour coded all the way across, and it has an extension lip all the way down through, whereas the other one's got a wider sort of area along through here, and as we were saying, the extension, and then there's one chrome slat on this where there's two in the other, so it complements, as we were saying, the grille on the front of the car. So that is the differences. Engine remains the same, so 1.3, absolute flyer of an engine. That is, I'd love to get that engine actually and have it in a really small light car, which I know, okay, this is a small car, but it's a real snorty kind of engine actually. There's so much power in it. As a guy described to me before I gave it to him on loan, he said, thank you for the loan of that car. It's the little car that has a lot more power than it looks like it should have. So in terms of the inside, Jazz always has a generous boot, so it's quite large. You can put a spare wheel down under here if you want, but puncture repair kit is standard. But as cars of that size go, compared to other cars in the market, it's quite a large boot. This down here is for closing it down. On the inside of the rear, the great thing about Jazz is that it's got a really easy to access profile on the door, so you can go straight in. It's got the magic seat setup, which is now gone on Civic, so it's only on Jazz and HR-V, and it's basically a tall mode, so if you want to put something big and tall in the car, it gives you the space on both sides. Or then similarly, if you want, you can drop the headrests, which then allows you to drop the seat overall, and you get a nice flat section moving into the boot. There's something I haven't seen in a while, the sun. It's been so cold for the last while, so if you see along here, nice and flat, and then similarly I can do the same on that side. So actually with the Jazz you can make a really large, almost comparable to a small light commercial van if you want. After that, one other cool thing about Jazz in the back is, if I sit in this car at the front, right, this is comfortably, yes, how I would sit in the car. So if I move to the back and get into the car, I'm 6 foot, so if I sit in here, I'm quite comfortable with the headrest. Okay, nothing amazing there, but if you look at my legroom, this is a small car with a massive amount of legroom in the back. Without being biased, there is not many cars in the market I know, actually very few, and we sell a number of small cars between the brands. This one is definitely the biggest in the back. Right, You may not have adults in the back of the car a lot, but you might have child seats with young children, and you know the way a child seat, the legs hang out over, so there is practical applications, not just for an adult, but from an adult's point of view, there's every bit as much space in the back of this as there is in the HRV, which is the bigger one. Moving up to the front of the car, electrics for windows and mirrors are over here, down to the centre. I'm just going to let this seat further back, so over here, drinks holder in through there, parking sensors front and rear. So if I go for, I'm just going to take this paraphernalia out of the way, if we go for first gear and I go to drive forward with my sensors on, so we got a noise in through here that's telling us we got a problem. We got another warning up through there telling us that we got a problem. And then similarly, if I go for reverse, okay, so I'm going to reverse back to this Santa Fe here without hitting it. So similarly, over here I got a problem, and I got a problem, so I know what's going on. After that, lane change warning. So if I'm driving along and I drift out of my lane, that is going to warn me if I haven't used my indicator or anything like that. Traction control in through here, height of the lights in through here. Cruise control is standard on this car, and also the controls for radio and all that kind of stuff in through there as well. Lights are automated, so if you meet traffic coming towards you, say that car there had its lights on, your lights would dip, and then similarly once that car drives past you, your lights will go back into full. So really, really cool. And then obviously they come on at night time and stuff like that as well when it gets dark, and then if you get out of the car they stay on as well to allow you to walk up to the house and get your key in through the door. Heating controls in through here, nice big, nice feeling knobs up through there with the usual setup for rear demister, which demists the rear window as well as the wing mirrors as well, and then also we've got air conditioning in through there as well. The touchscreen is easy to use and large, and touch and swipe and all that kind of stuff as well. So audio for, let's say, various sources of music that you want to use in through here. The volume is swipe, or we can use touching the screen as well. And in through there then I got things like my source of where I want music to come from. Back into here I got my phone stuff down through there, trip information, I can listen to internet radio through AHA, general settings, and then obviously in through here I've got the various apps, and I can also surf the net if I have a hotspot set up from my phone, but it has to be when the handbrake is on, so it's like a little tablet basically. Well, that's kind of what it is actually. After that then I've got HDMI if I want to play video up through that screen, and I also have the USB connectors in through here, which allows me to play music or charge a mobile phone. I just have to move here for a sec because I'm blocking somebody in. So that allows me to charge phone, listen to music, all that kind of stuff in through there, and then power outlet just for 12 volt and stuff there. There's also one more USB back there, so basically two people can use USB. In through here I've got mobile phone operation off the steering wheel, and then in through there it's also going to tell me things like my average speed, fuel efficiency, how much mileage is on the car, now amount of fuel left, average fuel you've run. That says 7.1, but to be fair, this car is literally brand new and it hasn't really had a proper drive yet. So usually around 5 litres or so for every 100 kilometres is what you'll get. And then in through here you've got automatic wipers as well. So very well equipped car, to be fair, overall. Actually, one other very neat feature is this here. This is telling you the current speed zone you're in. So if you're driving along and you encounter a speed sign, it will tell you that you are in a current speed zone of whatever it is. But what's even neater, I'm just going to get in here out of the sun for a sec. What's even neater is this limit function in through here. So I can have my cruise control, which is grand. I can have a speed limiter in through there, or I can have an intelligent speed limiter, which basically means that it is now limited to whatever speed comes in here, 50 kilometers an hour, 80 kilometers an hour, whatever it is. This will read it up here and limit your speed. So it's really, really cool. Very, very cool function. And as we were saying, these are 1.3 with just about 100 horsepower. Road tax 200 quid for the year, and fuel efficiency a realistic 5 litres per 100 kilometres, which is somewhere in the region of the guts of 50 miles per gallon. But it's a stonker of an engine to go. It's really, really quick. Just to give you an idea in terms of acceleration, let's have a look from maybe first, second, third gear, something like that. So apologies about the camera work, but this is just from a chest harness here. So even from first gear onwards, gets up through the gears so quick. Remember, this is a 1.3. So similarly, again, maybe from a more realistic kind of point of view, if you are in second gear, you're doing about 40 kilometers an hour. And again, if I floor the car now into third, So there you have it. That is the new generation in the Honda Jazz. If you're looking for a car that is basically easy to run in terms of efficiency, so as we were saying, €200 a year for road tax, around 50 or so miles per gallon, which is about 5 litres per 100 kilometres. If you're looking for a car that is bulletproof when it comes to reliability, just do a bit of Google research, and they have been. They're a brilliant, brilliant car that way. So many people actually, we see these cars still on the road, 01, 02, coming in to get service work done on them. So it gives you an idea of the build quality that's on them. If you want a car that's got an excellent level of specification, and also if you want a car that's a small car but you don't want a car that's too small, so sometimes people might buy a car like this but they still have family that are getting bigger and they need a reasonable sized car. And also, do you know what, there is more popular cars out there for sure, but that's what's actually the whole point here. I think they've got some good attributes, but they're also actually not everywhere, and that's kind of nice sometimes as well. So if you want information on the cars, Brian is my name, 086 843 1945. If you come to the garage, just ask for Brian. We can give you trade-in values, we can give you finance offers because we deal with all the major lenders, and any car you have to trade in, we can do that. Warranty on the car is 3 years, and AA cover is also 3 years as well. So hopefully one of these Jazzes of interest to you. Thanks for taking time to watch.